Hey guys, Jonathan here, and we're back in the workshop today, and we've got a visitor with us, Mark.
How you doing?
From Peachtree Crafting. So Mark's one of our affiliates, and you've been building a tool wall.
That's right, I'm in the process of doing it.
Insert montage.
There you go.
That looks mint, mate. That looks really good. So you've even put the foam in. I thought we might have been sorting out the foam for you here.
No, try to get as prepared as possible, make this as fast as we can.
So I'm guessing is it blue, Dremel blue?
It is.
Yeah, it is. I can see the base of it there. Brilliant. So what is going in it?
Dremels.
Dremels.
Yeah, I'm going to make a tool wall from a Dremel.
And you brought them all with you?
I have.
Amazing.
Let's get it all out. All right, so it's just this to go in.
Smashing. And then where are we putting the logo? Right, so I think that's pretty close.
Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Can I just make one change? Just think I might.
Go for symmetry.
Do you reckon that might be more symmetrical doing it that way?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. And we're going to stack these on top of each other, which is going to lose those.
Logo in the centre. You've sort of laid it out exactly how I would use it. So this is the main bit I'm going to be using.
Yeah.
Batteries either side. The accessories nice and easily to hand. Some of the bits I don't use as often at the edges. No, I'm really happy with that.
And this thing's intriguing. What's this?
So it's actually a cleaning tool. So you'd use it, you put brushes and whatnot on or pads and it's used for cleaning, but I don't use it for cleaning. I do a lot of burning wood and then afterwards you have to brush off the carbon, and I found that when it's got the brush attached, is the fastest way to do it.
Nice. So you're going to have like the brush attachments, are they a bit messy or something? You're going to have them
separate?
separate?
So I've got all my attachments and everything else, all the little bits, I've got separately storage for that.
Yeah, I like it. Right, so when it comes to starting cutting, there's two methods. Sometimes, if I don't have a logo, I would start in a corner and then kind of work out from there. For this though, I think it's probably more important that we get that logo.
Yeah, get that in the centre.
Really in the exact right position, the right size. We've put these stencils here just to illustrate where a logo will go.
Yeah.
But I think we probably need to print off a logo, do that, and then maybe start with these central items to make sure we're building correctly.
Yeah, no, I agree fully. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and you're a bit of a master at cutting foam already.
Well, master maybe not.
Well, I've seen some of the projects you've done, the jerry can, which you've actually brought with you, haven't you? So we'll have a look at that later. Maybe once we've done the middle, you can start that end and I'll start this end.
And let's not make it a race because I think I know who'll win, but yeah, we can at least do that.
Yeah, fab. Okay, so let's go and print off the Dremel logo.
Brill.
Right, so made to measure.
No, it looks good.
It does. So we've jigged things around a little bit, but I think these two, what are these again? Circle guides?
Yes, circle cutters.
Circle cutters, well they are literally made to measure there. They're like framing up the logo, which I love. The most important step is taking a photo, because I think, how long has this layout taken us?
It's taken a bit of time and a couple of iterations.
Yeah, and I think as soon as I start moving stuff, I'm never going to remember. And now, I think we start with the logo. Right, so we fixed the logo in the position that we want it. I'm happy with it. It's definitely center. It's really obvious if it's not center. So the old phrase, measure twice, cut once. It's about measure 20 times.
Yeah.
With the logo. So all we have to do is make sure you've got your glove on, your anti-cut glove on, and then I'm just going to use the standard scalpel that comes in the cutting kits. And all we're doing is cutting around the letters. So I'm going to cut the center of the D out before I cut the outside of the D out, because otherwise things are going to shift and move. So that's a Jonna's top tip. So it's nice to start on a corner, and we're not cutting very deep. If you just make this task about cutting the letters out in the paper, as a side effect you end up cutting the foam. And we can always go back later and make sure we've cut deep enough into the foam and that all of the corners are connected. But all we want to be doing at this stage is just cutting out the letters in the paper. There we go, so that's that one done. And it's as simple as that. We're just going to follow that same process all the way along. And I don't know about doing the registered R, but we can have a go at that. That isn't too small. Do you think we should, Mark?
Yeah, go for it. Why not? Let's challenge ourselves. Or challenge me anyway.
So I'll do this R, you do this R.
Ah.
so we've done all the cutting. That is the hardest bit. So once you've cut all the way around the logo, it's really important to, before we start trying to peel anything, going back and making sure we've connected up the corners, because if you don't have it cut right to the corner, you'll see here, this is a good example, the corner's not connected. So if I peeled that now, it would tear, and there is a very good chance of it not connecting when you are cutting through the paper. So you want to go all the way around again and just make sure you've cut down basically through the black layer. That's all we're trying to cut down through, but the corners are connected. If the corner isn't connected, it'll tear out the material and you won't get the nice clean corners on the logo. And it's the corners that really make it look a nice looking logo. Right, so we've done all of that cutting now. We know all the corners are connected. So it's just a simple case now of just pushing your finger down the side of the cut and just working the foam back and just peeling back that top layer. We don't want the foam to fall apart, so it is bonded quite tightly, so you just have to chase it along with your finger like this. Right, so that's the main logo done. We just got to do the registered R now, and I think the only way to do this is with a pair of tweezers.
It's like operation this, the buzzer's going to go off any second.
It keeps going off, it's been going off the whole time.
Operation, be the top dog.
Right, so we've changed that out a little bit. We're going to actually put this rotary tool here, which has got the long tube, and rather than having it like a long sweeping curve, we've made a bit of a gap for it down there. I think that's going to be a lot better. Are you happy with this layout?
No, I think this is perfect now.
Feels like the right balance now, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Fab, right. So if you want, you can start this end, Mark. Yeah. I'll start on that tube just to get that in its place so it doesn't move. And then if you want to start that end, and then I know that the router's another bit of a challenge, so I'll come over and take over on that.
I'll do the nice easy bits.
Sounds good. Right, let's get started. That is the final bit.
Bob on that.
Yeah, that was a lot of work. There's a lot of awkward items in here. This item here, I think probably cut in about 5 stages, because this section here I cut first because it's so deep. Then I was cutting this extra like central deep section here, so that's got like a bit of a V slot in it. Yeah. And then lastly I cut this section here, but it does help go into that extra detail, because when it's up on the wall it's going to be more likely to just stay in there and not shift. And if you, for everyone at home, that is the finished article.
I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
The frame really sets it off too. I think it's the first 70mm tool panel ever made. This is a much better use. I'm really pleased we changed from having it a long ways to having it.
Makes a lot more sense.
And it's going to be a backdrop, isn't it, for your channel?
Yeah, so it's going to go straight up on the wall as soon as I get back.
Yeah, brilliant. And if you don't know, Mark is from a channel called Peachtree Crafting, so check out the link in the bio below and go and show Mark some love. And one of my favourite projects is your jerry can build with shadow foam in it. I believe you've brought it with you.
I have.
Let's have a look at that.
So this is one of my favourite tipples. Now this is made to be attached to the wall, so it doesn't open properly when it's stood up, so I have to hold it up, but it's basically like a mini bar. So you've got your bar surface here and my favourite whiskey with a couple of glasses. That is really, really cool. Right, fantastic. Thanks for bringing that along, and thanks for coming down. No, thank you for having me. It's been great. Yeah, and this is an amazing build, so I'm really pleased we got a chance to do it together rather than you struggling along on your own. No, it's there's been a lot of fiddly work there, so I'm glad someone else did it for me. Well, it was a team effort, so really appreciate that. And if you've not already, subscribe to our channel, click the bell icon so you don't miss any future videos, and go over and check out Mark's channel, Peachtree Crafting, show him some love over there. And yeah, we'll see you next time.